Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and I'm bringing you a new map, a new 8.8 map. Test server just went up on Friday. Not sure when I'm going to get this video up, but hopefully it'll be soon for you guys. I'm playing in the new A43, which is the tier 6 Russian medium tank. I don't think it's very good, but look for my other content to find out my full opinion on the A43. This video is not about the A43, it is about this new map, Tundra. As you can see, it looks very much like Karelia, with a large open ravine in the middle of the map. The position that you see me in at the moment is going to be ideal for tank destroyers. And as you can see there, I'm looking at the new VK3002M, which very much looks like a prototype of a Panther tank. I'm just going to speed it up for a bit so I can show you the glory of this new map. I'm very impressed by this new map. One thing that you guys will immediately notice right off the bat is that Wargaming are using the new color palette that they've been adding to the new maps recently. You guys may have remembered that they re-rendered Port. What they actually did with it, as far as I'm aware, I could be completely wrong here and speaking out of my backside, but they changed the color palette that they used. So it made the map look so much more vibrant and fantastic. This map has that same sort of vibrance, and I'm really looking forward to playing this map on release. As we can see here, there are a series of undulations that you can use to advance down the western flank, passing over these small pools of water. This is going to be fantastic for mediums with lots of gun depression, unlike this new A43. To advance over and advance between the undulations while taking shots at each one. As you can see, the cap points are fairly close to each other. So what that means is that even if you're advancing to the enemy's cap, you should still have enough time to make it back to base fairly quickly. And you can literally completely surround the enemy's cap circle. It's incredible. So you can see here that there are lots of positions for safety. You could camp back here, wait for the enemies to come into your cap and snipe if you're kind of a defender. We can see that there are cliffs. They are traversable. Now we're advancing down the east side of the map. I personally think right off the bat, after only playing on this map for about 10 minutes, that the heavy tanks are going to try and gravitate to this location. It's a very linear pass. It's probably only one of the only linear parts of the map. If I just pause it here quickly, you can see that there's an opportunity to go up there, and there are some bushes you can go up and hide behind the rocks and shoot down on. It's a great vantage point, but it does leave you open to a lot of fire from a lot of the map, as I'm highlighting right now. Let's continue. So this map is very striking. It reminds me a lot of Karelia. Here we can see a large open area, which is going to be a great opportunity to ambush the enemies as they traverse along that water. If you can track them in the water, their traverse speed will be awful, and they'll be very open to ambush from multiple directions. So you can see this map has a fantastic mix between places which have very little cover and places which have a lot of cover. It's a lot like Karelia, that there are a series of open areas that you do have to traverse quite quickly to be able to make yourself safe. However, there are still a lot of areas where you can use gun depression. I really feel that this map is going to favour tanks with lots of speed and gun depression. You know, maybe the American mediums, maybe the British mediums. I think they're going to be excellent performers on this map. I think the opportunity to flank is just going to be incredible. But I think that there are still lots of fantastic opportunities for tank destroyers and heavy tanks. As we can see here, there's a bit of a mining town. I'm sure that people who like disposable cover and close quarters combat are going to go situate over here. What they will try and do is fight it out behind these buildings. Again, you can see me approaching the watery undulations on the southwestern part of this map. However, I'm going to show you the ravine down the middle now. We can see that there's a single bridge that crosses the ravine. that's going to be a very dangerous thing to try and cross. I personally think that tank destroyers will try and gravitate to these locations of the map around here and above. Basically on either side of the ravine. If I pause it for a second, I think we're going to have tank destroyers up here and tank destroyers up here, able to get cheeky shots also onto the open areas of the map. While the heavy tanks will try and gravitate towards the hill, and the medium tanks will basically be assistance and also trying to fight out. And flank. I think this is going to be an amazing map for an aggressive player who likes to flank and likes to use his map awareness and his speed to outmaneuver his opponents and get the better position. As you can see here, there is some cover inside the cap circles. That's going to be fantastic for trying to kite enemies. If you're in a slow heavy, a medium tank is going to be able to cap you. He will be able to kite you around this rock. So keep that in mind. One thing that you guys are seeing here is that Wargaming have actually modelled these trains very well. Look at this. You can shoot through the smallest of gaps. Really great modelling by Wargaming. They spent a lot of time on these wrecked trains. It's a big difference from the trains on Ensk, where they're like disposable cover once, and then sometimes they become magical and you can shoot through them, and sometimes you can't. So there you can see I'm feathering the corner to show you guys just how well they're modelled. And, oh, it ends. Okay. Bit of a mistake there, but they've done a really good job, I think, still with the modelling of these trains. So, we were just messing about on this map with QSF and the tank companies. I'll just pause the game there for a second for no apparent reason. But I'm going to make the map really big for you guys and just talk this through, just to highlight at the end of this map preview what's going to happen. This is not my map tactics video, and I will be doing more map tactics videos soon, guys. Just keep tuned. They do take me a lot of time, and I'm quite pushed for time at the moment. But I'd just like to highlight, well, conclude really what I've been saying during this video. I really think that this is an opportunity for tanks with good gun depression to be able to advance in and get a flanking maneuver on the enemy. I think that heavies are going to gravitate towards this hill. I think this is a bit of a kill zone here. I think this is a bit of a kill zone here. I think that this whole area over here is also going to be a bit of a kill zone. There's some steep areas that you can fall down and then progress. I basically think there's going to be a lot of fighting for this hill. And I think that the two kill zones either side of the map are going to be where you have to try and engage your enemies. I think a team that plays very aggressively and catches the enemy before they've managed to progress to this area is going to have an overwhelming advantage. I think that we're going to see tank destroyers camping in the middle areas of the map, trying to get shots across as well, trying to be opportunistic like tank destroyers are. There are quite a few bushes on this map, but there's no like long obvious places to hide large amounts of tank destroyers. All in all, this map, Tundra, I think is a fantastic addition to the game. It feels very much like a Karelia, but it feels a lot less linear than Karelia. Now, when you're thinking about Karelia, you think there's an attack down the west, there's an attack down the middle, and there's an attack around the east. This map, although it does have the western attack, the eastern attack, and the central almost impossible pass to breach, I think there are also a series of other routes which you can take to try and get advantages on the enemy. So I think while the unaware player is probably going to just focus on either going west and east, and you might think that this is going to turn into another Dragon's Ridge, where basically one team zergs around one side, the other team zergs around the other side, and the middle just does nothing. But on Dragon's Ridge, there's no opportunity to fight in the middle. As you can see here, 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 and here, there are opportunities to completely bypass the flank and just progress straight into the enemy base. I think this is going to be a completely open map where there are going to be a series of fights along so many passes. It's basically going to be outplaying your opponent, trying to remain active, doing as much damage as you can to the enemy, trying to just win the game. I think this is going to be a fantastic map and one to look out for. Anyway guys, if this has been helpful to you, please consider rating it down below. I'd really appreciate it. And tell me what you think in the comments below about this new map Tundra. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon. large amounts of tank destroyers. I think, don't know why I just smacked my microphone there, apologies for that.